What's up guys, I'm Shernfire. I've been a professional player since season 5 and I've been to MSI and Worlds multiple times.
The new champions here in Oceania as Direwolves will represent the OPL at MSI 2017.
While also climbing to top 10 Korea multiple times and hitting rank 1 NNOs multiple times. My goal is to help people reach their rank goals and ultimately breed an army of high elo junglers. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing Baron control and how you can win every Baron sequence with the knowledge I'm about to give you. The reason why this is such an important topic is 1, no one really discusses this topic, and 2, it's the value of it's much higher now because, well, Dragon, to be frank, is not as valuable as before. As I've talked about before in my previous video, the game's much more fast paced. So being able to start Baron confidently and finish Baron confidently is going to let you end games much faster and not rely on your teammates to win solo queue. So let's get into it. So the first thing we need to cover before even thinking about Baron control is understanding our ability to kill Baron. We need 3 main components to kill Baron. 1, we need a damage source. Number 2, we need someone to tank/heal off it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a tank. It could be a Lee Sin or a Fiddlesticks who heals off the Baron. So he soaks up most of the damage. Number 3, we're going to need an ability to turn. Even if we can hit Baron and we can deal damage to Baron and sustain Baron damage, if we have no ability to turn, more likely than not, we're going to get outranged, poked down, and die, or we're not going to have an ability to stop a 50-50. So here is a clear example of when you have the 3 components to start Baron. If you look down on the screen, we have a lead, and we have control of their jungle, and we need to progress the game. So the next objective is clearly Baron. All the outers are gone. We're good to go. We have 1, a damage source. Me, Lilia / Callista. So 2 damage sources. And we have 2 tanks, essentially. Because I heal off Baron, Callista has lifesteal, and Cassante is a tank, we essentially can 3-man it. So that ability for people to have multiple strengths in one champion helps a lot with the Baron finish here. But the thing we do not have that's really good is a turn. So Callista ult is a good turn, but not really with Renata. So as you'll see here, my support and my mid laner also doesn't have very good turn ability, right? Is going to move away from the pit because they know we can tank the Baron and do a lot of damage to Baron to threaten the dilemma of finishing the Baron. So what my sup and mid is going to do is they're going to move to the back end of the pit and force them to engage on them on our terms, or they're going to have to risk getting poked while looking for vision in the pit. So as you can see here, that the opponent team decides to concede and now they're getting poked out by multiple targets. I hit a nasty E. I slow 2 of them. We're basically 2v4ing them over the pit because of our ability to deny vision and our ability to be literally, as you can see, full HP, even though we're 3-manning the Baron. So now that we've established when we can start Baron, and now we need to figure out what reactions we're going to get when we start Baron. And I'm going to cover 3 common scenarios that you're going to get against a resisting skilled opponent. So the first thing to establish when we're talking about Baron turning is we need to define a line in which they cannot cross before they get engaged on. So in this scenario, we have every component we need to start Baron. We have a damage source, Azir, a tank, a Sejuani, and a turning tool, Leona ult or Sejuani ult. Now, if you play the clip here, we're going to have vision on all sides and they're not going to be able to see us. And you can see the enemy team in this imaginary scenario is approaching because they do not want to try to steal Baron over the wall. They want to fight and contest the Baron 5v5 or 4v4 rather. So in this scenario, you're going to have to draw a line, imaginary line, in which you believe they've come too close to you before you're going to use your turning tools on them. And in this scenario, you will be able to create a successful team fight, understanding the dilemma between them having to come face check each bush and also check on the Baron, while also understanding that you can turn. So putting them in this dilemma is going to give you guys a huge advantage if you can master this skill. Alright guys, so now we're going to be talking about Baron turning. So to give some context to this scenario, it's Fox vs T1 regular season. Fox is able to upset T1 in a best of 3 and win the series. And in this game, I'm going to showcase why they're able to upset them. So their ability to Baron turn is really amazing here, and you're going to see some misplays happen and some adaptations to the misplay. So you can see down below that they are starting Dragon T1, and they're starting Dragon down tempo. They do not have a side lane, they do not have a mid lane. So that is the context. So they have a Zyra, and they're disrespecting the fact that they can start Baron with double lead carry and Zyra. So they're losing on all sides except for bottom, and they decide to do Dragon while down tempo. So Fox decided to respond to start Baron straight away. Now this is going to be really effective. If we can put from T1's perspective, they don't see anything, and you're going to see them blue, or redemption rather. So now they have a checking tool, but you can see here from their perspective they need to run in, and lo and behold, this Alistar walks up and he walks too early. They're not close enough. So we talk about a line, right? They need a line to turn on, so they're not close enough to turn. But the thing is they have such good position on the Baron that turning is still going to be effective even after a missed arrow, even after we waste Alistar combo right here. As you can see, it's looking really bad. And Alistar does a clutch flash to pull Leona into his team. And now Leona is stuck into his team. And as you can see here, Aatrox has an amazing flank. All because they had to panic rush to Baron because they see the Baron is dropping. So you can see Aatrox has an amazing flank, and now they can easily play front to back and then start the process of starting Baron again. So now you can see Ezreal steps up too close because once again they feel the pressure of the fact that they need to take the space to contest the Baron. If they do not take the space to contest the Baron, they will not be able to steal because they have Alistar to knock out the Ivan Flash Smite. So you can see here that Ezreal, although you could say, oh, this Ezreal's trolling, he is trolling, but he's being put in a dilemma by Fox right here, having to go in and take the space. As you can see, playing from their perspective, God perspective, yes, you could say, yeah, he's trolling. But if you look from his perspective, and it's really not that easy. As you can see, from the Ezreal side, he sees Aatrox on the right side. He's like, oh shit. And then he sees 4 members, and it's black, right? He loses track of the Alistar in the bush, and he's able to essentially try to walk forward because they need the space, but he misplays heavily, and now Fox get Baron against one of the best teams in the world. So pretty good sequence from Fox here. Now the first common scenario we're going to cover is Baron baiting. So this scenario comes up where you don't necessarily want to start the Baron because you think they're going to walk in, or you start the Baron initially but you have no intention to finish. So you're baiting to turn, or you're baiting without even starting the Baron in the first place. So in this scenario, this only works, guys, when you have complete vision control. Right now, if we pause and we think about the enemy team's vision, they don't see anything. We've cleared out all the vision, and we see the red side jungle, and we see the entrance, Raptor's entrance. So we have 2 very strong wards, which is going to allow us to see everything we need to see here to be able to turn. So Since I'm playing Zyra, I'm able to cheat the fact that I don't have to tank the Baron, so we can start it without even having to make them face check, and we won't lose anything for it because, well, I can just turn off the Baron. So as you can see, specifically with this Baron, turning is amazing because the wall is so thin and they get so close. So as you can see here, I'm able to easily turn on the Karthus and we're able to play a team fight out. And unfortunately, even though we do not get the Baron after this, we are able to get top push and trade 1-for-1 and then do the same thing again in a future time with better tempo since we got the side lane push. Now let's talk about another scenario to master, which is Baron finishing. Now this happens when the opponent decides they don't even want to fight. They just want to try to steal the Baron. So this is going to be key, knowing your burst damage and knowing who can stop the jungler or make the jungler's life hard to essentially stop it from being a true 50-50 smite battle. So as you can see here, I am playing Zyra. My support is playing Bard. So Bard, usually the support or top or mid, rarely the AD carry, is going to push off the jungler. In this case, we're going to use Bard because Bard has a portal and he has a stun against the wall. And for the idea of stealing 50-50, we have Jhin 4th shot. So always be looking for a champion on your team that has burst ability and looking to burst together with that champion. In my case, I have Zyra as well. My ult does a lot of damage, so I'm able to also look for the last hit with my ult if I need to. But in this scenario, if we rewind back, I can clearly see the plant's doing worth and Amumu gets stunned. So I know he has no ability to go over the wall. I block his path to stealing Baron with Amumu Q. With the Zyra plant blocking the Amumu Q. So there's no way he can flash over the pit and steal the Baron. So that would be a perfect finish. As you can see, the fight plays out. And since they decided to try to steal the Baron, it takes way too long for them to get in fight position to fight us in the river. So basically, if anyone goes on me or my teammates, they should pretty much be going in one by one. So this is going to happen a lot, guys, especially when the opponent doesn't feel like they want to walk into the pit. And they just don't feel like fighting. So very good situation to master. So now that we've established how to finish Baron, how to bait Baron, how to turn, etc., make sure to check out the Sanspareil public Discord for the visuals. It will be all in there for free, and other jungle resources to help you get better at jungling and reach your rank. Now when it comes to consistently getting results for the time you put into league, check out sanspareil.gg, the paid coaching program. It's well worth any other program I've ever seen, just because I know that I'm giving you guys the most latest up-to-date understanding of how to play jungle when there's constantly patches and changes. So without further ado, I'll see you guys on the next video.
Subscribe me.